Hello everyone, I'm back, still with my wild hair, but there you go. Anyone remember the Honeymaker's Daughter? That's the one I've been editing this year. I've started a new one, but this is the one I'm editing. You may remember that I was waiting for the literary consultancy to give me their editorial report, and that's now back, which is great, isn't it? There's 12 pages of it. Which is good. That's about what I expect. Sometimes you get more, sometimes you get less. I thought you might be interested to see what they'd said. They divide it up really helpfully into various little paragraphs. So this is their summary and overall thoughts. So the lady Emma says, this novel has tons of potential. You have a real talent for immersive description, and the themes of the novel, family, finding your inner strength and the transition from childhood to womanhood, are a great fit for the young adult market. So that's very nice. However, of course, there's things I need to work on, which I know is always the case. And she wants me to work on how much I tell the reader things. And it is bad, I know that. I'm telling myself the story, and I'm then telling you the story. And really, I should be showing you the story. So I need to go through it all and stop telling you things and show you things, and stop overwriting, stop over-describing. So, you know, trust you a bit more. I do trust you. I love my readers. But I need to think, you know, to work on that for this novel. And she also wants me to look at my characterisation and world building, because she thinks she likes it, but she's a bit too generic at times. So I need to focus on the character and focus on the world. So that's her summary and overall thoughts. And she then goes to the opening of the novel, Honeymaker's Daughter, and she says this: the opening chapter is compelling and beautifully written, immediately immersing the reader in the story, with Amber witnessing the arrival of the stranger. So that's really nice. I quite like that. She liked my opening chapter. I think I'm quite good at opening chapters. It's just the bits in the middle that are a bit weird. So that was her general feeling about this. They then go on to their writing style, which is very important. And she says this: overall, you write really well, and with a polished and professional style that makes this manuscript a pleasure to read. Well, that surprised me. I'm never polished or professional. I don't think that's really me, but somehow she thinks that, which is nice. However, again, she looks at the overwriting and tells me to stop telling the reader things. So I need to kind of think about that when I'm writing. Very important. So that's that. And then the next section is, well, obviously there's more in this section, but there are bits that I need to work on for quite a while. And the next section is plot and pacing that she looks at. And she thinks that it's starting to feel nicely story-shaped, which is very good news, isn't it? And she does say this, which I really liked: there were some moments where I literally couldn't stop reading. Yay, that's nice from an editor, isn't it? Very nice. However, again, she thinks my exposition, I don't need it all, and she just, you know, trim it. There's too much about telling about the people in the village, which I should be showing you, so I'll have to work on that, won't I? And also, she pulls me up about a flashback I have towards the beginning of the novel. And she says, it's too long, it's too long. It's 7 pages of flashback. 7 pages. Make it 2. Oh gosh, I'll have to work on that, won't I? So I'll have to look at that, won't I? Yes. And then again, she goes on about she tells me about the length of my chapters. It's not good. One of my chapters is 7,000 words long. That's not good for any chapter, especially not young adult. So I'm going to have to, I'd already cut them, as you know, from if you were listening to my editing journey. I now have to cut them again, so make them very short and very punchy. That's what I need. So work on that. And she also says I need to raise the stakes. I do have things that Amber will lose, but I need them to make more dramatic things that Amber will lose, depending on what happens. So I'll have to think on that. Again, she says about raising the stakes halfway through, when, you know, the reader is getting bored halfway through and something else needs to happen. So I'll have to work on that as well. And then she'd like me to put the magician, to weave him more comprehensively into Amber's storyline and plot, which I have started doing when I sent them the novel, but I need to work on that more and make his appearance much more central to Amber's story. So I'll have to think about that one as well. And then again, we then go to the next theme, which is characterization. And she says this: as long as you can ensure that she remains sympathetic, Amber has the potential to be a great young adult heroine. Independent and strong-minded with a clear sense of justice. I really liked her, says my editor. So that's nice. But she does say I need to pull out the darkness a bit more and the things that go wrong in Amber's life. So I'll have to work on that and kind of focus on making them clearer and deeper, really. So that's characterization. I then, turn the page correctly, yes, I then get to settings and world building. Now this surprised me because I think I struggle with this, settings and world building. I have to really focus and kind of think when I'm writing rather than just letting it flow. But she says this about it: the world of the Honeymaker's daughter is beautifully described. You have a real talent for vivid description. Do I? I had no idea. Thank you very much, Emma. So that's really nice. So again, she does pull up on some settings are a little generic. I need to focus them and make them different, so I'll do that. And then we get, so that's a small section, then we get to dialogue in the novel. And this is clearly written, no issues about formatting or punctuation. But again, she wants the dialogue to be sharper and exposition less. More showing, less telling, Anne. So that's important. And then we get to the word I can never pronounce, the denouement. I never know how to pronounce that. And she says, my editor says this: there's the potential for a really gripping ending to the Honeymaker's daughter. But at the moment, it needs more foreshadowing and a clearer backstory. So I need to work on that in my edits. And she ends that section with a bit I really like, made me cry actually. And she says, I really like how the theme of Amber's transition from childhood to womanhood comes to the fore, with the bees as a metaphor for this. It's really clever. Chapter 13 to 15 in the epilogue are fantastic. I have 13, 14, 15 epilogue, 4 fantastic chapters. Go me. I just have to make sure the other ones before are equally fantastic. So that's my mission. And the next steps, is the final part of this report, as they are all in the literary consultancy reports. And this surprised me because she mentions whether you intend to self-publish or are looking to be picked up by an agent or editor. And then she goes on, it's important to be doing something original and fresh, which I know. But I'm never picked up by an agent or editor, so that makes no difference. I've never mentioned this before. So I self-publish because that's how I roll. And nobody looks at me. I'm just sitting here in the middle of Surrey writing things and nobody notices in terms of the big world out there. I'm only a small, very small fish in a massive pond, aren't I? So that was surprising. So, and finally she says, what did she say? The story's themes, family, coming of age, and what it means to be female in a male-dominated world will really shine through as you do your edits, and you'll have the makings of a really strong novel here. So that's very nice. So all in all, that's a really good positive report. I've got a lot to work on, but you know, me and Amber, we can do it. So that's what I'll be doing for a while. Take care. Bye.